because we're talking about regime change and foreign policy. And friend of show Margaret Kimberly, by the way, you guys should all follow Margaret
great.
if you don't. She's amazing. She posted this tweet that says, "So the U.S. has chosen
its new Assad. PBS is backing."
Oh yes, the guy from al-Qaeda.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
I mean, to even say that is amazing.
Like,
it is truly funny.
So
that
the
we're
U.S.
like,
has chosen their Assad replacement, and PBS is helping them. So I just want to really quickly play this.
You're recognized, you're designated as a terrorist by the United States, by the United Nations, by many governments. There's a lot of Americans who would say you have no business being a leader as a terrorist. What do you say to them?
أولا نحن لا نتصرف كحكام في المنطقة، نحن جزء من الثورة السورية بشكل كامل يعني. الثورة السورية ليست تختصر في شخص يعني، وإنما هي ثورة شعب بأكمله يعني. الأمر الآخر هذا تصنيف جائر وهو تصنيف سياسي يعني، ليس له يعني وجه من الحق والمصداقية. لم نشكل أي تهديد على المجتمع الغربي أو المجتمع الأوروبي، ونحن ندعو الدول التي قامت بمثل هكذا إجراءات أن تراجع سياساتها تجاه.
They're trying so hard to rehabilitate this guy.
Yeah.
Who's not a good guy.
I mean, they've been supporting them for 15 years, and
Yeah.
they obviously want to permanently. The United States permanently wants to occupy northeastern Syria. That seems
Right.
clear
Right.
from where they are. These are their people. So what
Yeah.
else can they really do but try to rehabilitate them? I mean, this is what happened to John Kerry when he admitted that all the people they were supporting were terrible terrorists, and it was like a hot mic situation. And he was like, "Oh, well, I didn't really mean it like that." But, this is, I think, a long-running effort, really going back to 2011 to sort of pretend certain people are not who they really are in order to facilitate what the real U.S. goal is in the region, which is to balkanize the Middle East as much as they possibly can to weaken anyone who could potentially challenge Israel or the Gulf state, tripwire that they've set up.
You have in the past said that you were determined to fight the United States and its allies. Have you changed?
يعني نحن كنا ننتقد بعض السياسات الغربية في المنطقة، نعم. أما أن نشن حربا على الولايات المتحدة أو الأوروبيين من خلال سوريا فهذا الأمر ليس بصحيح.
Well, you say here now then very clearly that you, as a former al-Qaeda leader, will not support what you call external jihad, that you will not support any attacks against the United States.
يعني أعيد وأكرر حقبة يعني كان دخولنا مع
My involvement with al-Qaeda has also ended.
يعني كان دخولنا مع القاعدة في السابق هذه حقبة وانتهت يعني. وحتى في ذاك الوقت عندما كنا نحن مع القاعدة كنا نرفض أن يقام عمل خارجي، وليس من سياستنا على الإطلاق أن نقوم بعمل خارجي. هذا شيء لم يكن في حساباتنا على الإطلاق ولم نكن نفعله على الإطلاق يعني.
Remember they interviewed Osama bin Laden, and he had this is going to get me really in trouble, but he had
Osama bin Laden had some good ideas.
No,
so, I'll just say it.
His positions on Palestine. I mean, look, he had good critiques of. My mom made this point the other day when she was on talking about the Iraq War. That he opposed. I mean, look, I don't think I really have to defend my mom or my position on.
You should just get to the point of what you really want to say about this video, not get into Osama.
Say something. Hold on.
1995 being interviewed by 60 Minutes or whatever.
Was interviewed. Okay, this is really controversial, but he doesn't look like a sociopath, okay? And I'm sorry Eugene is uncomfortable with the nuance of my conversation here. But he does not have sociopathic eyes. He has nice person's eyes. I know I'm sorry, it's true. We can admit that. He has kind eyes. I think we can admit that. It's uncomfortable, but we can. But this guy just oozes sociopath. There is nothing. He just looks like a sociopath.
Yeah.
And
they're trying their best. They're trying their best. But we can all agree, we can all certainly agree that this guy did not have the dreamy eyes, did not have Osama's dreamy eyes.
I don't think I've never really looked into Osama's eyes. I'm a little concerned.
Really?
I'm a little concerned, Katie, that you've been dwelling on his eyes.
Of Osama
Wait,
bin Laden.
hold on. I mean,
let's not pursue it. I actually agree with you, Gene. We don't need to pursue it.
Okay, fine. But like, also,
I was making a joke.
I'm just saying. Let me just say something. Like, you don't. It's not weird to know what someone's eyes look like when they are famous for good or bad. I mean. What? Wait, that's a weird position, Eugene. Like,
I don't know if it
supposed
is,
to hate
actually.
his eyes away?
No, I just to have a deep opinion of it. It seems a little outside of the box. It seems like a little beyond what most people when they read the interview.
You just don't want to. I mean, I'm admitting. Thank you. Someone in the chat said he does have nice eyes, and why I think this is important is because we should just be honest about it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I don't know who put it there. That's not even a particularly flattering one, but still, you'll see.
Can we do a hot or not? Can we all just do an up or down, hot or not?
Oh my God.
I think Katie should do a think piece on eyes.
Yeah, that's not like no. The reason I find it disconcerting is because like that's why I notice his eyes because I always remember being like, God, he looks like a person with nice. He looks like he has nice people eyes.
Was the point that you were trying to get that at one point the U.S. said that they were whitewashing Osama and they're doing it again? Or?
No, not at all. That they had a lot of material with this guy doesn't work. Like this guy doesn't have nice personality.
This guy doesn't work the way that Osama worked. Like
he doesn't charm you.
The same thing.
The
casting is worse. The casting is much worse. This time around.
Yeah,
I think they've actually done better this time around. I mean, it may not be the eyes, but I think more people are confused now than they were about what was happening in say the 1980s in Afghanistan.
Oh, yes. I'm just saying from a logistics perspective, I'm just saying he doesn't even have nice person eyes. Here, I'm going to show you this one thing. Jack, can you put this in? I just have to copy this link and it's uncomfortable. All right.
Well, I wonder if it has to do with like the US has to like their like pawns have to be increasingly like more crazy and more right wing because like they just can't.
US's
the people who like they want to impose just seem to be getting more and more insane because that's the only people who will work with the US.
So this is the picture you're talking about from the Wikipedia.
Oh my God, this is like.
I just want to show
the fact that you even have a favorite photo is.
I don't have one.
I'm honestly concerned at this point.
Okay, I'm just saying, doesn't he have nice person eyes?
I mean,
you all know he does. You're just not saying it. You all know he does.
I have to be honest with you. I think we have to go beyond skin deep.
As an artist, what aesthetically, what do you think?
I'm not even. This is not handsome, ugly, anything. It's just like he has the eyes of a nice person. That's neither good nor there. So anyway, Rasputin also had kind eyes. A nice date for sure. I mean, look.
But did Rasputin have that? Who is paying attention to this? This is like not an element of analysis I even believe to be.
Is Rasputin?
People are saying things.
Was Rasputin cute?
I mean, I think it's according to the Tsarina, I guess, yes. But
you all know
that ended up.
I do think that Soleimani was a very, very handsome man, and I've not made him.
But that's
very different.
Issue.
I know.
That's a completely
I know.
separate
But
issue
I guess it's kind of. I don't really understand why we can't look like Leni Riefenstahl was a good fucking cinematographer
in the service of Nazism.
I know.
So why would I spend any time saying the cinematography was good? Who cares? Great cinematography on the way to mass genocide. And then just to top it off. Then just to top it off.
That's not important to talk about?
How did Lenny
Riefenstahl
even be
there's
ugly.
Rasputin.
Pictures of
By the way,
Africa.
has a pretty unfortunate bald spot.
He has no business being in this montage. He can go with the what's his name? The Syrian guy.
So you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Oh wait, now you're gonna shame me? You're gonna elevate the bad guy?
I'm not elevating. I'm not elevating anyone. I'm just saying that your point of analysis. If that's not the point.
No, I actually think that there's some. Look, we have to grapple with this.
The point is that
the point is that a good poet, even though he's a fascist anti-Semite. This is a huge question.
This is not a huge question at all. This is actually the least relevant question of all time. I mean, if you were like, yes, I was really smart, but I used it to kill 13 million people, then I don't care if you were really smart. In philosophy, people say this about Carl Schmitt all the time. Well, should we be paying attention to what he said? Was this person a good poet? Was this person this? Was this person that? It's not really that relevant when the thing that outweighs it are the worst crimes in the history of humanity.
To be honest with you, Eugene, I'll push back just a little bit on as far as the Lenny
Shouldn't we study
Riefenstahl
propaganda,
thing.
though?
You know, I actually do think that I'm like, you know, it's worth noting, you know, how like slick art and stuff like this can like win people over. Like, it's almost worth noting that, because then you can look at things like our like American Sniper and stuff like that, and you can like make those comparisons as to like how do these kind of like nationalist ideas actually like take root in people and stuff like that. Like, it's not so much commenting Leni Riefenstahl on like how great her work was as much as it is like, you know, a way to, you know, we should be aware and be, you know, it's almost like we should be afraid sometimes.
I agree.
Of good cinematography.
We should be vigilant.
And then it's like,
I think
we should,
it should be vigilant.
I think
Guys,
we should,
there's actually a really good art history essay I would recommend on this. So there's this art, like Marxist like art history theorist Hita Strael, who I really like. And she wrote this essay called In Defense of Poor Image. And In Defense of Poor Image is written in 2011, so it's pretty dated, but it's kind of about like how the proliferation of like poor quality image is actually like kind of more proletarian, because it kind of like reaches more people, and like it was like kind of in defense of torrenting, like that type of thing. But she references this other essay from like 71 and about Cuban cinema in the 70s, and how it was this more it was like arguing in favor of how it was far superior to the like Western imperialist like cinematography, like technology that they had access to through the like their military industrial complex. Like, they could like make the best camera and hire the best people and make the best cinema, quote unquote. But this was arguing that like the Cuban cinema was actually a lot better and far superior because it had this like more
it was made by the people. It was made by people. Yeah. With all that said, I don't think that applies to the kindness one sees in Osama bin Laden's eyes, but I don't want to get back into it. I do not want to reopen that particular can of worms.
I almost feel like Eugene is complicit by refusing is complicit in Leni Riefenstahl's work.
Wow.
Because he refuses to look. He doesn't want to look at the hard issues.
Well, believe it or not, I've seen it. A booster. Well, you know, that I guess it would just put me in the same category as the New York Review of Books, of course, that you know, famously boosted her photo book essay on the newer people in Sudan. But yeah, no, I mean, I hear you, Jack. I think it's a good point. Well, because I think that it's in a way an overplayed point, though, because I mean, we know that things are successful because they're pleasing, right?
Sure.
And I think that the point is often overplayed by people who feel, well, if we don't recognize that if it's the reason why it was successful is because it was good, well, just the fact that it was successful lets us know that it had some sort of hallmarks of it. So I don't want to overplay the sort of broader issue, because I feel like oftentimes when it's brought up, it's almost as like sort of a but. Like, this person was terrible, but, which is what I'm really referring to, as opposed to this is the service at which this person's art was put, this is why it was sophisticated and succeeded.
That's fair enough.
See, Katie, this is why it's important to be really careful with your messaging.
I know, yeah.